Us Grand Blazers, we're working to build a community to allow for discussion, providing specifications you can relate to, so you can have an educated decision on your purchases. So if those are the things you're looking for, please consider joining the channel. So in regards to the subscribers, so thank you for everybody that's joining in, and then thank you for people that have been with me for a little bit. So currently, as I'm making this video, I'm at 887 subscribers. So if you didn't know, for YouTube, they kind of consider you a legitimate channel once you hit 1,000. So I'm basically 113 away from being considered a legitimate channel on YouTube, which is just fantastic. So I remember when I had 113 subscribers, so to get to 887 is great. So appreciate you folks being with the channel. So I was tagged by two folks on this one. So there's going to be for In the Pocket, and also Blue Collar Survival tagged me in the top 5 with a twist. So it's like a top 5 plus. Because it's actually 6 knives. So going down the listing, it has a Grail, a tank knife, a performer, a shocker, overall, basically kind of the thing that kind of clicks all the little boxes for it, and then a choice. So that's going to be the ones that we're going to go through for this listing. So Grail, in my consideration of Grail, is something that you're actively seeking. So that's one that you're kind of looking for, trying to find, not finding, not available. One that I was looking for a little bit has been the Kershaw Blur, which is this one here with a, it's kind of a faux carbon fiber. So it's actually G10 that is a faux silver twill carbon fiber. So that's one that I was able to find recently, just the handle. So no blade. I think it was S30V that it came with. So just a handle for $200, and I'm not going to spend $200 on that knife. So somebody that collects Kershaw Blurs probably has that in their collection, but I wasn't going to go there. So I was able to find somebody that actually did customization. So I sent a blur over. So I will soon have Kershaw Blur S30V with true carbon fiber twill inserts. So I'll show that on Instagram or somewhere else, probably on the channel as well. So that's going to be my Grail, and then I'll find something else to look at. So like the Pleroma, which I think is just beautiful, and I just haven't handled it yet. And then there's probably another knife in there as well. But that's the current Grail. And then going there from the tank knife, I was going through what I have, so I didn't really go through as far as knives this year. I just went through what I had. And then the one that came up for a tank, which I haven't seen on very many channels at all, is going to be the CRKT Razzle. So that is this knife here. And so this is, I think this is like the epitome of a tank. So this is unapologetically chunky, fills up the hand. The blade shape itself is very much a work knife, and then even the tip of it. It also has this locking mechanism. So this is going to be probably as close to a fixed blade, or just about as close to a fixed blade as you can go. So it's going to lock it into place, and then that actually will not allow you to disengage the liner lock. So that's where you can put it to work while you're working on it. I mean, you're actually kind of have your hand on that, so it's not going to disengage, then to disengage that liner lock. So you have it locked in there. It does have this very interesting pocket clip. So if you have not seen that pocket clip, it's very cool. Right now I have both pocket clips on there, but a lot of that is reason because I just didn't take it off yet. But also, once you take it off, then you have this big old gap in the liner, and it's not very pretty. But this one just kind of hooks onto the side of the pocket. It's kind of a very interesting one where it hooks in and kind of flops over, and when you take it out, you kind of rotate it and take it out. So I would suggest checking that out if you have not. This one is currently, it would be my tank working knife for this. So I'll just leave some of those and we'll kind of rotate them out. So tank, and then for the performer, a lot of them would go for like a really expensive knife, something that's going to be the really high-end steel to be the performer. But for myself, something that's going to cut like fantastic, and it's going to be something that's going to be very usable. So if I was to take it out and then use it as a cutter, it's going to perform really well. And that is going to be one that might get a laugh out of it, but that is probably going to be my Cobalt. So this is going to be a Cobalt. This one was recommended by Troy's Flooring Solutions. So this one is $9.98, but it does allow you to get the actual regular utility blade in there. So that locks in. So at any time that you get dull, flip it around. Anytime that gets dull, change the blade. Have a whole pack of those in your pocket. So this is going to be probably the sharpest knife that you're going to have for any type of work. And then also, if you do leave it closed, you also have the cutter. So you can use that for a seatbelt cutter. You could use that for rope. Anything you like on that. It does have the button lock, which is a fairly decent one. And then also does have the cutter on this side as well. So if you're going to do any wire stripping or whatever you're going to do. But this one is my performer. As much as that seems very odd, that one's going to be my performer knife for use. For the one that I have for the shocker, I always like odd actions. I always like mechanical things. I like mechanisms. So this is one that kind of was one that I had on my radar, and then it was something that I was looking for, looking to pick up at one point, but I never really did, never really made that jump. So with this one, SMilk327 user ID loaned me 2 knives, and then this was one of them. So this is one that was a shocker when I actually got it in, because in some things you can actually have where it's like you can explain how the action is. You can say it's like this knife or like that knife. And this one is just like, well, it's a Marksman. So if you have not experienced a Marksman, I would recommend you do that. This would be one that would be a buy category for it, but also be aware. This would probably be one that could guillotine, because if you just try and do a partial flick on it, basically this blade is just free flowing. So if you do use like a thumb flick or something, and then you don't fully deploy it, it could come back and bite you. But this is going to be the one that was my shocker, because I knew it would be a free flowing action from other reviews, but it was not. I didn't think it was going to be that good, and then it has a good sound to it. So Marksman is the recommendation for that. So if you haven't picked one up, do that, or at least check it out. SK Blade Works has some G10 versions, and then they're really onto as far as the quality for it. So you're going to get a good knife out of them as well. So check that out for that one. So for overall knife, it's going to be one that if I was to probably not have any more knives, this one I'll probably be okay with. Just this would be my knife, so I could actually carry it around, use it on a regular basis, meet all the tasks that I need it to do. And that is one of the newer knives that came out, and that one is going to be I forgot the name. So the Medford. So I don't know why that just went out of my head, but the Medford knife. This one's a smooth criminal. This one is actually on bearings. So that was really surprising. At first when I got the knife, I was like, geez, how did they get washers to be this smooth? And then, well, they didn't. It's bearings. So that's something that was kind of some change for Medford, because they were very much into the phosphor bronze washers, and that was what they used. This is their first one as far as aluminum full body for it. First plunge lock, button lock, and then it would meet everything I need. I mean, it fidgets, and you can fidget with it, and then it does the work. S35 VN blade. So this one would be my overall for a knife. Only thing that I do have issue with it, so without using wrist, if you actually lock your wrist in place using this flipper tab, it's very difficult to deploy. So if the flipper tab was a little bit bigger or the detent was a little bit stronger, then it would be able to be done better. But you just got to get that little wrist in upward position. But if you're going to work and you're going to flip it out and use it, you're just going to flip it down and go to work. But that would be my overall for that one. And then the last one, which is the choice. So this is going back to a previous Grail. So one of the previous Grails that I had was a Benchmade 940 gold class with Damascus steel blade, and then this one had a silver 12. So obviously I think I like silver 12. So that's where it kind of goes around. But for that blade, I wasn't going to get that. That's like, I think probably going to be like, I don't know, $1,200 or something for it. But I did find that I kind of preferred grip-tiliums, so that can be controversial in itself, but I did like it. So in knowing that, and in working on a trade with a mini grip-tilium, I was able to work with also a Steve Kluver, and that helped me pick up a scale through Death of All Things. So that is this knife here. So this one kind of became that iteration of that Grail. So it does not have the Damascus steel blade, but it does have that silver 12 for the handle, pocket clip elimination on this side, because I'm going to be carrying it right hand tip up. So I do not need a mount clip on this side, which it normally does have. So that is that one. So that's all the ones that kind of came into play for it. So that is that. That's all the blades. That's what I think for all those there. So thank you very much for watching the video. There's a lot of people that have done the tag, so really if you haven't done the video, you want to jump in on it, because there's been a lot of people that have done tags, so I don't want to tag somebody that's already been tagged, and I don't know where the origin is. So if anybody knows where the origin of this tag was, let me know down in the comments down below as well. Thank you again for your time, and I appreciate it.